Okay guys, I thought I had the audio done on this, but obviously I had not. This is the lesson on how to take an image out of Lightroom and bring it into Photoshop for matting to get it to the proper size for accreditation. So first thing you do is obviously open your image in Lightroom. I'm choosing an image that I'm gonna, think is, oh, this is a great image, I love it. I think it's worthy of Salon. So I highlight that image and I go down to the bottom part, my film strip of Lightroom, and when I'm ready to go, I right click. Now you're going to notice this voiceover isn't timed to my mouse clicks because I actually didn't record it properly. So I'm actually doing it after the fact. So there's no develop module in here. I'm not doing anything to this image. I'm just pretending it's perfect as it is, by the way, because this is not a Lightroom demonstration. This is to show you how to mat it properly. This was requested by Marshall Como, by the way, so hopefully we can get up on the PPOC website. So go down to your image down here and you right click and go to Edit in Adobe CC Photoshop, if that's the program that you happen to have. The image itself was taken on a Canon 5DS, so it's a fairly large image. It'll take a second to get over there. I'm working with a bit of an older computer, and I am working with a Mac, so I will use Mac acronyms. Okay, it opens in Photoshop, and it'll open in how I have it set it up is it has tabs. The tabs are right up here, you can see them. So yeah, that's when I refer to tabs, that's what I mean. So now the image is open, and I'm going to open my canvas. All right, so I go to File and New, and what that'll do is it'll bring up a screen that'll allow me to determine my canvas size. Now this is critical. You can save presets in here to make this a lot easier for yourself. Okay, you can see that you can actually create those presets so you don't have to do this all the time. I have a few showing up. So you do 5120 by 2880 on the right hand side. The DPI mean nothing. That's a printing instruction. So you, whether you put 300 or 72, it doesn't matter. I put 300. It's RGB, and I'm actually going to change this to an 8-bit depth because otherwise it could be too deep, and the size will be too big for the purposes of accreditation of Salon. And then when I'm done, I click Create. So what it'll do is it creates, oh, I did a black background, sorry, again, I'm watching this. It created a second tab, and it's got a perfect 5120 by 2880 tab, or canvas. I go to my other tab now, and I've got this single layer. I double click on it to unlock the background. Okay, click OK, and it unlocks it, turns it into a regular layer. And now what I need to do is I need to move this onto my canvas. So I hit the V key, which activates the Move tool, or I can just go click up at the top here on this four-arrowed north, south, east, west thing, and I drag the image into the canvas tab. So you'll see me you see my mouse go up and hit the tab, and all of a sudden, boom, the block shows up. Now drag my mouse down and drop. Image shows up on this tab. Now that it's there, I need to size it properly. So the image in this case was bigger than the actual canvas. I've got two layers in this particular document. Make sure you've got the layer highlighted of the flower, or in this case of the image you want to do, and you hit Command T, Control T on the PC, and Command 0, Control 0 on the PC. What this does is it opens up a transformation, and it resizes the image to fit your screen for everything, including the parts that are bigger than the canvas. So you see what just happened there. Now I can see all the handles on how I want to resize this. So it's perfect. Command 0 is a key that I use a lot. But yeah, so now I'm going to take the image and I'm going to resize it to fit in the canvas. The key here is to hold down the Shift key. If you hold down the Shift key, it preserves your aspect ratio, which is really critically important. If I hadn't done that, it just would have altered it as I moved the mouse, and that might not be a good way to do it. Apply your transformation, go back to your Move tool, and now you're ready to move the image somewhere on the canvas. So I'm going to place it in a proper place. In this case, I'm going to place it center. And what you'll see here is I've got some pink lines showing up. Those are called smart grids. So if you go under Show Your Smart Grids, it shows when you've actually centered your image. So it's pretty important. The last part I'm going to show you is a little nicety. An image on a black mat looks good. I think it helps the image in this case. Having a little bit extra never hurts. You click on the layer of the flower in this case, and you go down to the bottom right hand corner of Photoshop, and there's a little button called FX. If you click on that FX thing, you can start adding a few little things that make your image pop out from the canvas. Okay, so click on FX, and in this case I'm going to add a stroke. Alright, so click on FX, go to stroke, and this little window pops up, brings up stroke, and what I'm going to do is the color in this case of the stroke is completely wrong, is you can click on the color and then click on your image and grab a color from the image. In this case I'm going to go quite dark, and I'm going to show it in an exaggerated way here so you see what I've just done. I've just added a pink stroked edge to this image. 2 to 3 pixel stroke just kind of pops the image from the canvas a little bit. The next thing you can do is perhaps add a little bit of a bevel and emboss. I'm going to click on that. Doesn't do much here, but it never hurts to have your image, quote, pop a bit. You can do whatever you want here, but remember, your mat and anything you do to your image becomes part of your image. So if you overdo it, if you absolutely overdo this, it will get judged as such. If you did this crazy background matting with all these pink colors and all this stuff, it will get judged as such. Okay, let's pretend, again, image is now perfect and I want to save it. So, in my particular case, maybe I do it a little bit differently, but I know I've got a perfect canvas here. I do a file, save as, and I usually start getting my naming conventions correct. I can't tell you how important that is. I'm a salon guy, so I'm going to name it Astro Salon A965. I'm going to say this is my first image -1 underscore, and then I come up with a name, Pink Paradise I think I came up, even though it's a silly name in this case. And what I do now after I've named it is I go down and I say I don't want this to be a Photoshop document, I want it to be a JPEG in the drop down menu at the bottom. I'm going to save this one to my desktop, by the way. Go and take it from Photoshop document right to JPEG, and as soon as I click OK, a screen's going to pop up and help me determine my JPEG compression. Alright, now remember there's sizing issues with this stuff, so I usually use this slider. If you've saved in 8-bit, it'll give you an approximate size of the image you're about to save. In this case, I have room. If I make the image smaller, you'll see it'll get smaller, or more compressed, I should say. If I push it right to the top, you've got 6 megabytes per image on average for Image Salon and accreditation. So once that's done, I'm going to click OK. The other stuff I just leave filled in. They don't really relate to image competition or accreditation. I'm going to go back to my desktop now. I'm going to minimize everything, and I will go back to my desktop, and the image will be there over on the right hand side. I'm going to open up in preview and make it full screen so you can see what I've done, because this is how it's going to show up on the screen at image competition. There you go. So this is what the judges will see, and that is how I make a mat. I'll come back at some point and do a vertical, and I'll also show you how to do an unmatted image with the proper aspect ratio, saved properly, just straight from Lightroom if you don't really care about the mat. I don't know how to do a mat in Lightroom. I understand you can do it. I will learn how to do it and do a video on that. Thanks very much, guys. Hope this helps.